Hello everyone, welcome back to Season 1, Episode number 3 of Chilling Ice Cold Stories, where you get the bloodiest of bloody, the scariest of scary, and the spookiest of spooky. Chilling Ice Cold Stories, Season 1, Episode number 3. So welcome back everyone. We're going to read some more stories today. I'm going to share a few more with you today. It's a late night little episode. It's 10:50. Time to get the creepy in. If you guys want 3 a.m. stories, let me know. You can email me once I get the email set up. So yeah. I don't really know how to tell you to let me know if you want more. But I guess just give it a good rating if you want some more. Okay, so let's get into some more stories here. So these today are Craiglist stories. If you guys remember Craigslist, I wonder if Craigslist is still out there. I don't know if Craigslist is still out there or not. Like, Craigslist was like, oh my gosh. It was like, I used to use it. Oh my gosh, it is. It's still out there. All these years later. Like, look, I can go right here and I can look for gigs, or, like, right here, like, I can look for sale, and I can go to cars and trucks. And here is a 1997 Ford F-150. Here is a 2013 Chevrolet Equinox. A 2007 Dodge Durango. It's like, and they're kind of creepy. Like, I don't know. It's just like, Craigslist is so creepy now. Okay, so this Reddit person, which their name is Mother Nature is Fickle. 7 years ago, they wrote, "Our house was for sale and suddenly appeared on Craigslist for rent by an unknown person. We had people showing up at random hours asking to see the house and driving by and then calling our realtor wanting to know rental information. It turns out it was a ring of people who would pretend to rent property and take their money. When people would show up to move in, they would disappear or discover what they thought was their new home was already lived in. We had to file a police report and post signs on our doors notifying people our home was for sale and the rental listing was a scam." Oh my gosh, that is so terrible. And it's like so many times I could only imagine people have already paid before they even went. OWNage99988 7 years ago replied, "This almost happened to me. I saw a listing on Craigslist for a house and I text this guy whom broken English replies that he wants a deposit within the hour because he has so much interest. I drove by later and saw a very white soccer mom unloading her kids from the car. Shady mother effers." Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. Okay. That's just like really ridiculous. Okay. So here is someone's more longer version. Their name is now deleted from Craigslist, but here is the story. So, sold an old SUV is I hate this car's logo. How do you say this? I wonder if I can have like Siri like speak it. Speech. Isuzu. ISUZU. Trooper. Okay, so I sold an old SUV, a Trooper, once. It was running and mostly drivable, but needed either very expensive parts, very expensive professional repairs, a matter of equipment more than skill, or an expensive modification to keep it on the road. That combined with me really needing a truck bed meant it was time to list the old girl on Craigslist. I listed it for $500. I got a call asking if I'd sell it for $200. I told the guy no, I could get $200 for the rims and fairly new tires on it. He responded that then, obviously, I'd have a 2.5-ton hunk of metal in my driveway, to which I responded that I could continue to part the thing out until it was cost effective for me to pay someone to haul it off. I didn't want to put in the work, so I'm selling it in one piece for $500. Thank you very much. Well, no can make money off of this thing at $500. $200 is what you're going to wind up selling it for. I said, no, I would not sell it for $200, and ended the call. He texted me back insistently, annoyed me to no end. After the first couple hours, he upped the price to $250. I had a piece of crap prepaid phone. There was no way to block him. Finally, I found a buyer willing to give me $450. I arranged a time to meet up, exchange money, and transfer the title to have another text conversation with Mr. $200. I'll do $300 on that trooper. I replied, sorry, I just sold it. How much? I'll beat him by 50. It's sold. I've agreed to sell it to someone. I'm not going to go back on that. I'll give $350. No, the truck is sold. Stop texting me. How much? I sold the truck. It's gone. Okay, but can you tell me how much? $450. I'll do $475. I thought you just said no one could make money on this truck at more than $200. Well, yeah, but you seem like a nice kid. I'm 37 at the time, and he sounds younger than me. I'm just trying to help you out. Once I sell this truck, I'm turning my phone off for the rest of the weekend. Stop texting me. I actually had to turn my phone off. Oh my gosh. This story, it's not creepy. It's not scary. I guess these are just like weird ones. So, well, it says horror stories. That's not really a horror story, but it's definitely a wow, like a mind breaker. So, definitely a very holy cow, are you flipping crazy? Kind of a Craiglist story. So, okay, so here is another deleted user. Selling a guitar for $75 one time. Guy shows up about 2 hours late, around 10 p.m. Checks out the guitar for about 20 minutes. He pulls out a $20 bill and some gift cards from a couple of places I've never heard of. Oh my gosh, he did not just pull out gift cards. Oh my gosh. He did not just pull out gift cards. Wants to trade them for the guitar. I finally told him to take a dang hike. Can you imagine going over to someone's place or meeting them somewhere and you're gonna buy something and you're like, okay, I got $20 in cash for you. You want 75? Okay. I got $55 in credit cards. Gift cards. I got a $15 Starbucks. I got a $25 Trader Joe's. That's so messed up. Here is another user, also deleted 7 years ago. Was looking for a room to rent, contacted the person, made an appointment, showed up early, didn't want to be late. Condemned sign on the door. No lights on anywhere. Wait around, eventually a car with way out-of-state plates shows up. Decide to call them, mention the sign. They act offended that I showed up early and try to explain it away. I decide the probability of getting stabbed is too high and leave without meeting the so-called owner. Whoa. Someone said, they quoted, I decide the probability of getting stabbed is too high, and they said LPT. They said, always calculate stabbing probability. Okay. Yeah, so, okay, next story. This story is the unrest stop. I was driving across country with my mom and my sister when I was 16 and my sister was 20. It was late, but we were well rested, still, and alert. We were driving along an interstate and needed gas and a bathroom break, so we stopped at the only rest area in 200 miles. There was a van full of teenagers on a road trip at the gas station, as well as a small gray car parked at the pump in front of us with two young men standing still outside of it. When we got there, everything felt wrong. We'd been on the road for days and seen many rest stops at night and had never been afraid until then. My mom and sister went inside and I stayed in the car. I heard the teenagers say they were creeped out and couldn't get the pump to work, and they left in a hurry. I was watching the car in front of us and the two men had not moved at all. Not an inch. They weren't talking. They weren't on phones. They were just standing there, still as stone. My sister and mom came running back out to the car, and when they got in, the two men slowly turned to look at us while not moving or pivoting the rest of their bodies. And I swear, we all saw the same thing. They had eyes dark as pitch and empty, truly empty, not black, not reflecting any light at all, just a void. We sped out of there and didn't stop until we were in the next city. The worst thing about this entire experience, we couldn't find the place on any map. Oh my gosh, I'm getting chills. We knew exactly which spot on the interstate to look, and we couldn't find it on Google Maps or any paper map we had. We even asked locals about the creepy gas station on that stretch of road and only got confused looks. We've traveled on that interstate since, and there is no rest stop. Oh my gosh, it's like a third dimension. I'm like gonna cry. I'm so chilled. Whoa, that's a very chilling story. Okay, that's definitely the most chillingest story for ice cold stories, okay? Because that is so ice cold. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna send this to my mom really quickly. I'm gonna text this to her. She is gonna flip the shit, okay? I'm gonna send it to my dad too. Stepdad, but wow, I mean that's just a really crazy story. I'm gonna get a little post on Facebook. I think it's very holy cow. It's just whoa. It's very chilling. So it very well works for this podcast. I mean, that is a very chilling story. It gives me chills physically. Wow. So there we go. That's post up there on Facebook. Let's go ahead and read another. These are really, really chilly. Okay. Okay, what's this one? This one looks weird. I don't want to read some of these really, really scary ones, so I don't want them I mean, I guess that's my job. That's my job for this. What am I doing? Okay, I'll read this really, really creepy one. That looks really creepy. It came for us in the graveyard. We were driving my friend's really old beat-up Subaru through a massive graveyard. We stopped and walked down a hill and came across a little pond. There was someone sitting on a rock on the other side of the pond. The figure was all black and we couldn't make out any figures other than the fact that it looked like a man who was wearing some old-style top hat. We stupidly waved and shouted, "Hi!" He didn't know any acknowledgement and continued sitting still on the rock. All of a sudden he jumped to his feet, started running to us on the water, and then vanished in thin water about halfway on the pond. My friends and I screamed and ran back to the car. The car wouldn't start, and we heard some banging on the back of the car. It wasn't a constant bang, but every few seconds or so we'd hear it. Nobody was outside, from what we could see in the dark, but something was making a noise on the car. I opened my phone and started dialing my mom to come give us a boost. but I had no service. None of us had any cell service. The next 30 minutes we spent trying to get her car started. No banging was heard afterwards, but we felt this heavy pressure around us. Finally the car started and she hit the pedal to the metal. We sped out of the graveyard so fast, immediately crossing the gates, all of our phones regained cell service. One thing I know for certain is that someone or something was out there, and it was not an animal or a human. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so chilling. Ugh. These are like really even like scary for me to even read to you all. I think today we're just gonna, for today's stories, we're gonna name them the most chilliest stories of them all. This is a short one here. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. What the heck is that title? Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. It sounds like a song. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Like, what the... Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. After we moved into our home, we were told a woman had died there at the hands of her abusive husband. Okay. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. After we moved into our home, we were told a woman had died there at the hands of her abusive husband. She hated men. My dad would wake up with scratches all over himself, and whenever my brother was mean to my sister or I, he would have scratches on him as well. One day my brother hurt our sister. He hit her with something. When he woke up later that night, he had a horrible bloody nose. The day we moved out, my brother accidentally broke his twin's arm trying out a wrestling move. He swears that he would have died that night if it wasn't our last in that house. Oh my gosh. What the... Like, why are these so creepy? Definitely posting this one on Facebook as well. Of course I have to. You guys know I have to. I mean, they're just, like, really, really creepy. Okay. Very, very, very creepy, but I do like it. Okay, let's do a few more. Let's get a different webpage. This one is just way too scary. This is travelchannel.com, and they have some really, really scary ones. Okay. Let's do this one. Okay. That you can jump. These are jump stories. So let's do the walk or the big toe. I like the big toe. It just sounds like so flippin' weird. Let's read the big toe. I think it's a story. What the heck? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so nerve-wracking, guys. What did I do when I started this podcast business? What did I do to myself? I'm gonna read all these crazy, creepy stories. It's like, how do people like Mr. Nightmare and other like creepy storytellers, and they're 100% real? Like, I mean, most of these are real, but it's like, they're like actual real ones that they get from their subscribers. Like, how do they sleep at night? I feel weird and cold and chilled. This is the big toe. A boy was digging at the edge of the garden when he saw a big toe. He tried to pick it up, but it was stuck to something, so he gave it a good hard jerk, and it came off in his hand. Then he heard something groan and scamper away. Ugh. Should I do sound effects or not? Let me know. The boy took the toe. Oh my gosh, ew. The boy took the toe into the kitchen and showed it to his mother. It looks nice and plump, she said. I'll put it in the soup and we'll have it for supper. What? That night his father carved the toe into 3 pieces, and they each had a piece. Then they did the dishes, and when it got dark they went to bed. The boy fell asleep almost at once, but in the middle of the night a sound awakened him. It was something out in the street. It was a voice, and it was calling to him. "Where is my toe? Where is my toe?" It groaned. When the boy heard that, he got very scared. But he thought, "It doesn't know where I am. It will never find me." Then he heard the voice once more, only now it was even closer. "Where is my toe? Where is my toe?" It groaned. When the boy heard that voice once more, only now it was closer, the boy pulled the blankets over his head and closed his eyes. "I'll go to sleep," he thought. "When I wake up, it will be gone." But soon he heard the back door open, and again he heard the same voice. "Where is my toe?" It groaned. Then the boy heard footsteps move through the kitchen into the dining room, into the living room, into the front hall. Then slowly they climbed the stairs. Closer and closer they came. Soon they were in the upstairs hall. Now they were outside his door. "Where is my toe?" His door opened, shaking with fear. He listened as the footsteps slowly moved through the dark toward his bed. Then they stopped. "Where is my toe?" the voice groaned. "You've got it!" The end. What the hell? That is so freaking weird. There's this alternative ending. The boy sees the creature climb down his chimney. He asks what his big eyes are for, and the creature answers, "So I can see through you." Then he asks what his big mouth is for, and the creature answers, "To swallow you." Then he asks what his sharp teeth are for, and the creature answers, "To chomp your bones." Someone said on January 20th, 2022, so weird. This is so freaking fake. I don't like that. Not at all. So to I know this is a scary channel, but to take it off tonight, I want to do a really funny, hilarious story. Okay, just to kind of get us in a little funky mood as we end off today's podcast episode. So this one is called which one should I read? Let's read this one right here, which is called Chicken Dance. These are not even really funny. Okay, let's read this more basic one I'm going to pick right now. Painting a roller coaster. So in my junior year of high school, I got a project to make a roller coaster for my physics class. Everything was going fine until the day my partner and I had to paint the thing. We were in my garage spray painting the tubes, and these 2 guys come marching up to the house across the street and start yelling at the top of their lungs, beating on the door. Now let me say, in my defense, the neighborhood I lived in was South Dallas, and it's still not a safe place. Well, I called the police, closed the garage, and parked myself in front of the dining room window. Long story short, the police showed up in full gear, broke down the door, and brought out the two boys at gunpoint. And that's the story of how my entire block found out that the abandoned house had new owners. What? How is that funny? And I don't even understand it. So, these people, these two guys, come marching up to the house across the street. And they start banging on the door. They brought the two boys out at gunpoint. And that's how they discovered that their entire block found out that the abandoned house had new owners. Who were the new owners? The kids? The boys? I don't understand. So funny. These are not even funny. Literally, they're nothing's funny anymore. Let's try one of these. These are short ones. Okay. Okay. These are like dad stories, like dad jokes. They suck. Okay. One more, and then we're going to be done. Let's read a funny true story. Police Officer Bryant found a perfect hiding place for watching for speeding motorists. One day the officer was amazed when everyone was under the speed limit. So Brian investigated and found the problem. 10-year-old Dennis was standing on the side of the road with a huge hand-painted sign which says, "Radar trap ahead." A little more investigative work led the officer of the boys accomplish. Another boy about 100 yards beyond that radar trap with a sign reading "Tips" and a bucket at his feet full of change. That's a good one. That's a really good one. That's pretty interesting. That's cool. Okay, guys, so that's going to end out tonight's little crazy stories of Craiglist and two really crazy chilling ones. I really hope you guys got a little spooked out tonight. I got a little too spooked out to my liking, so I'm going to go to bed. Thank you guys for listening to episode number 3, and I will see you for episode number 4. Bye, everybody. Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed the spookier than spooky and the more eerier than eeriest, is it even a word? Stories here on the True Chilling Stories, where the true cold stories begin. I hope you aren't too spooked, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye everyone! Don't be too scared, we have a new episode on the way. Where's my dog?